Hey, it's Clark Reid with some headlines for today from the world of tech for you. If you enjoy these reports, we'd love it if you'd click the like button and also the subscribe button if you're so inclined. After years of rumors and delays, it looks like Apple is locked in on releasing their mixed reality headset. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports they'll unveil it this spring ahead of Worldwide Developers Conference that always comes up in June. The actual device should be in the hands of well-heeled early adapters by fall. Apple has apparently shared the device already with some high-profile software developers, and most Apple Watchers think it's going to run about $3,000 and initially be aimed at developers. It remains to be seen whether it will connect to a battery pack on the belt, but given the power demands for AR and VR goggles, it doesn't really seem feasible to use a headset with tiny batteries and just the head strap. It's starting to be more widely known that EVs get pretty hard hit on range in cold weather. On the plus side, if people are stranded, which happened back east not long ago, they can generally keep the cabin warm for a couple of days or more. According to the Washington Post, cabin heat is the issue during cold spells. You draw power to keep warm, and that can steal about 41% of the car's range. EVs, interestingly enough, are still more efficient than gas cars. Gas cars only put about 20% of the energy the motor produces down to the wheels. EVs push over 75% of their energy to the wheels. Still, you don't want to lose range. A number of makers are putting in heat pumps to heat the cabin, which cuts the range loss to about 15%. The Jaguar I-Pace and Tesla Model Y already come with heat pump standard, and they're an option now on a lot of cars. Could become standard on pretty much all of them as EVs become more mainstream. Guide dogs have been a staple of helping visually impaired folks for decades, and now the technology is stepping in to maybe become a virtual guide dog for people. TechCrunch.com says a Korean startup called AI Guided showed a belt at CES that incorporates optical LiDAR sensors and optical sensors to help identify objects and help with navigation. It gives a gentle haptic feedback to assist the sight-impaired person, kind of like what the Apple Watch does when you're using that to take a walking trip, and it taps you on the wrist lightly. Since it's on a belt, both hands are free, unlike with a cane or with a harness for the guide dog. The company calls the device Guide-Eye, G-U-I-D-I, and they're launching it on an Indiegogo campaign later this month. Apple surely knew this fall when they launched their emergency satellite connection on the iPhone 15 series that others would be right on their heels. And we reported here that Samsung is already working on one that not only works for emergency, but allows simple non-emergency text too. Now, TheVerge.com says Qualcomm has announced new processors and modems that'll connect with the Iridium satellite network, doing exactly that. It's called Snapdragon Satellite. It'll start appearing in phones equipped with Qualcomm's tech by the second half of this year. You can expect it to just show up in the flagship Android phones, not just Samsung's. And also, the initial system they're saying now will be emergency only, like Apple's, but they will be adding premium messaging later. Expect that to be extra cost, too. The emergency service reportedly will be free or cheap. I'm Clark Reid, and you're Technified for now.